Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I hope you're all having a great week so far. It is Thursday when I'm filming this, so we're almost done now. And this is a very special video today on the house of Boadicea the Victorious and one of the most expensive fragrances they have to offer. This is Nebulous. Now, I realize this video is not going to appeal to a lot of people because of the price point and the fragrance category that this is in, but hopefully for those that are looking for this fragrance or curious about it, this video will help you a little bit. So Nebulous here is probably in that same category as if you've maybe tried Dasman from the house. It's a rose, oud, saffron, and musk fragrance, with Nebulous being a lot more oud and musk forward, a lot stronger. So you have to keep in mind with a fragrance like this, if you're not into oud and you don't appreciate oud and you don't know maybe different types of oud and regions, it's important to kind of get that education before you can truly appreciate the price point and what a fragrance like this has to offer, because a lot of people just are not going to get it. But getting into the house of Al Sharif and trying different wild and aged ouds from different regions, it's really given me a lot more appreciation, not only for the cost and how some of those wild ouds are harvested and the restrictions surrounding that, but really how they are incorporated into fragrances as well, and the quality that certain houses are using. That's one of the reasons that I got into the house of Boadicea the Victorious, is because when they put oud in a fragrance, 99% of the time you can smell it. You know, you got Alcif, Pearl Moon, Dasman, Nebulous, obviously Oud Sapphire. When they list oud, you can really usually get a very pungent and high quality dose of oud. Now, there are certain fragrances such as Azrak and other ones where they list oud as a note, and it's more blended in there for complexity and to give the fragrance more longevity, and it's not something that you would pick out by itself. But that has become a catch term in the fragrance industry. It's a popular term to use. To my knowledge and all of the things that I've read, you can put the name oud in the fragrance and it doesn't really have to contain any certain amount of oud. It also, from everything that I've read, it doesn't even have to contain real oud. It could be an oud accord, and the fragrance company can just list that as a note. So you really got to watch out in terms of what you pay and what you're getting. There are fragrance companies, I'm sure as well, that will list oud in a fragrance and they'll put, yeah, we're using real oud, or they'll put a certain type of oud to make it seem more legitimate. And then you smell the fragrance and you realize they're probably not even putting 0.1 of a milliliter of actual real oud in that fragrance. So the cost of raw materials is down for the fragrance company, but they get to use a catchy term that a lot of people are looking for because they want that true oud experience. And Boadicea does it just as well as anybody, if not better. Obviously, you know, Al Sharif I consider almost a different type of company because they specialize in attars and pure aged oud oils, wild oud oils. But getting that education from them has made me appreciate Boadicea even more, and Nebulous is definitely no exception. This is an extremely high quality and high dosage of real oud in this fragrance. With the other notes in here, you know, they list pink pepper, raspberry, cinnamon, saffron, violet, along with some other florals kind of going along with that rose. So it is difficult to kind of pick out the exact type of oud that the fragrance company is using in this particular one in Nebulous. In my experience, it doesn't smell like an Indian oud. It's not nearly, funky or barnyard, and some Indian ouds even go into like the fecal realm where they really do smell like a cow pasture. You know, that's not going to be appealing to everybody. This has a little bit of everything there. It's a little smoky, little medicinal, definitely earthy, funky. I sprayed a little bit on the back of my wrist just as a refresher, but I did give this fragrance a full wearing yesterday, and I think it was like a 1.5 or 2 ml decant of it quite some time ago. So I do have a decent amount of experience with Nebulous, but this fragrance here, even though it is very expensive, they are using a high quality oud, and they are using a lot of it, which is part of the reason why the price is so high. Now, of course, just with any niche company, or any fragrance company in general, but especially niche companies, you're paying a lot for the packaging, the name, and of course what is going into the bottle. Part of that is just for the user experience, the consumer experience. A lot of that also goes into anti-counterfeiting. You know, the more elaborate that you make these bottles, the harder they are to fake. And two really good examples are Boadicea and the House of Argos. Both of them go above and beyond in the bottle design. I've never seen any fake Argos. There may be some out there, but they're probably pretty bad. I have seen some fake Boadicea, and on certain web pages, they look pretty good from a distance. Having bought a fake Boadicea before, it is so glaringly obvious when you get one in. These covers, from my knowledge, are pewter, and then they're dipped in either gold or certain other materials. But it's actual real engraving. The fake Boadiceas are going to have plastic covers with laser engraving. So if you've owned a real Boadicea and then you've bought a fake one like me, when you get it in person, it is just glaringly obvious how bad the fakes are. Yet alone the juice inside the bottle, that's almost impossible to replicate, especially the longevity and the projection and everything else. You may be able to replicate the top notes of any fragrance relatively easy for the first 5-10 minutes or smelling it out of the bottle, but that's pretty much where it ends. But especially Boadicea, with the way they design their bottles, it's just almost impossible to replicate. So yes, that is part of what you're paying for, but Nebulous here, pretty much everything that you're paying for in terms of the price point that it commands is the quality of the ingredients in the bottle. So unless you're really, really into oud, you have a little bit of knowledge in it, and you really already enjoy that style of fragrance, I don't think this is something that would be of good value or of interest to a lot of people. Now, if you're a collector, you have a special occasion coming up, and you're a collector that wears your fragrances, and you really enjoy the category of rose, oud, and saffron, like myself, this is a fragrance that I think is a must-have in your collection. Whatever excuse you got to use, whether it's your birthday, Father's Day coming up next year, Christmas present coming up in a couple months, because it is nearing the end of July when I'm filming this video. But this is just an absolutely incredible fragrance. Tons of longevity, tons of projection, as you would expect. The development is really, really good on skin. That rose and that saffron, they stick around for a few hours, and then it really goes into that base of the oud, musk, and amber. So really, really good things I gotta say about this fragrance, but it is extremely expensive. Of course, just like everything on this channel, this was not sent to me. I bought it direct from Boadicea the Victorious, which I haven't done with all my Boadiceas, but something this expensive, there's no way I'm gonna trust a secondhand site. Obviously with the bottle as well, it's almost impossible to see into, so who knows, maybe there could be 5-10 ml missing out of the bottle because somebody wanted to sell some decants and make a couple $100. So with a fragrance of this magnitude and this expense, I always try to go right directly through the manufacturer, because quite frankly, even though I've had good luck on eBay and other discounting shops, I have a little bit of trust issues with that, especially when you can't see inside the bottle of something this expensive. So kind of sucks that you can't really trust people anymore with that. I'm sure most places would be fine. I also have not seen a lot of people that sell this on the secondary market. Not a whole lot of reputable sites or discounters that I've seen this at. So for me, going directly through Boadicea was the only way to go. And I have to say as well, the packaging, the shipping, the whole experience from Boadicea ordering direct was absolutely excellent. Argos, some of the best to do it in the business. Jerjoff is really good as well. There's quite a few companies that do an excellent job. Unique Luxury, even, like their packaging, their bottling, how they ship the fragrances, how they protect the package when they send it to you. You can tell they take the extra steps and they actually care about what they're sending you, and they're really trying to protect their product, which is great. And you would expect that from a lot of these high-end niche companies. You would hope that. Now, I have had some negative experiences before. If you remember my older videos, I've ordered direct from Amouage, and the package came in tatters. The cardboard was not good, and it doesn't take that much extra. Maybe put some saran wrap on the outside of the cardboard so it doesn't get wet. Just little things like that. The packaging was bouncing around. They didn't really put any packing material, and Amouage is one of my favorite brands, and I still order from them, but it is interesting the variance that you can get ordering direct from certain manufacturers. So Boadicea, as you would expect, top notch. They do have distribution in the United States right now, because when I ordered direct from them, I believe this came from New York. So one of their distribution centers in New York. And very high quality oils in this fragrance. Again, as you would expect for the money, you would hope that. But for collectors, for people that are in the market for this, I know this video is not going to be appealing to everybody, or probably a very highly watched video. But for people who were interested in Nebulous, just get it. If you're a collector, I don't know when this will be back. I don't know how much oud they had for this specific run. And for me, one of the most high quality, it is the most high quality sprayable oud, saffron, musk, and rose fragrance that I have. Of course, Al Sharif, I have some attars from them that go into this same category, but obviously that's different because it's a pure oil attar, not a sprayable fragrance. But for this category, for me, it just doesn't get any better. You've probably heard this fragrance compared, just like every Boadicea, to something else in the category, and just like everything else for me and quite a lot of other people, it's just a laughable comparison because they fall short. Now, when you look at the money, maybe something that's less expensive from another company would be worth it to you. But if you really want the real deal and the true experience, and somebody that's using a high quality oud that's aged, this is just unbelievable stuff, guys. It really is. It's one of those fragrances that's going to be the flagship of a lot of people's collection. And for me, especially for this category, that remains true. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully this answered some questions you had about Nebulous. Longevity, projection, it's what you would expect. You're getting 24 hours of longevity on skin, and I do mean it's still projecting after 24 hours. It is that strong. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you're interested in purchasing this fragrance, I'd probably recommend going direct, maybe spending a little extra money. It's kind of odd to say, but they do have a 10% off first ordering direct from Boadicea right now. So 10% off this fragrance, you're looking at about $180 off. So maybe get some points on your credit card and order it. I don't know what to tell you. Very expensive, but if you have an occasion that's maybe worth buying this for, whether you get a promotion, birthday, Christmas coming up, something of that nature, anniversary, this is definitely something that you want in your collection if you're a fan of this category. So hope to see you guys soon. I got a lot more videos coming for this channel. And yeah, buy Nebulous. Don't get anything out of it. I don't have any relationship with this company. I don't have any links in the description. But this is absolutely an incredible fragrance. See you guys soon.